This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we are your hosts. I'm Alexis.
I'm Grace.
And it's Funky Phantom time.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what he said at the end? Yeah, of my last episode?
Yeah. Funky
Should have
Phantom
been the
time.
tagline all along. Oh, man, missed opportunity on their part, but oh well.
Truly.
We weren't the writers of this show about a Revolutionary War ghost who is trapped in a clock for 200 years and released by random teenagers, and now is like their bestie and goes around with them and his ghost cat Boo, solving mysteries. And boy, we've had a good sampling of this show so far in this arc.
Yes.
Grace, this is your last episode, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Man, I'm very sad.
We're already coming to the end. This is weird to me too, because I feel like this arc has gone by so fast. I mean, I've got one more episode to do, obviously myself, but my brain is like still in Jabberjaw, Grace.
That's called PTSD, Alexis.
That's what it is. Thank you. Okay. It's good to
trauma.
Have an answer. Yeah.
To put a name to this feeling.
Thank you. It does feel like it. I mean, I'm so serious. There's so many times where I have to like remind myself, no, this is a different show.
I'm safe now.
Yeah, I'm in a safe space. Thank you. I now know what to tell my doctor next time I see them, or my therapist. So all of that said, Grace, I will let you take over for your last episode of the Funky, for now.
Absolutely,
Phantom.
For now. We will. We'll cannot be the end of our
we will do the other 8 episodes.
Yes, without a doubt. Yes, I love this show so much. I'm very sad that's my last episode, but I'm very glad that this is the one I chose by pure happenstance to do as a final episode. It has it all, let me just say. Yes. So today I am doing episode 12 of Funky Phantom. And today's episode starts out in a place that calls back actually to my first episode. It's a place that we know Mudsie must love. It's related to one of his first one-liners from my first episode. We are in Philadelphia at the one, the only, the historic Betsy Ross house.
Oh, his bestie. Oh,
heavens to Betsy Ross.
You know, it's funny. In my mind, I was trying to real quick think like, wait, what happened in the first episode again?
I don't know.
I couldn't remember. I can't remember. I still can't. It's going to take me a few more seconds.
I think, it was the Raven, the fawn.
That's right. The Raven.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Yes.
But regardless,
it was mainly just Mudsie one-liners in that.
Even though I couldn't. Okay, good, because I couldn't remember the plot of that episode. But when you said one-liner, my brain immediately thought, "Heavens to Betsy Ross!" So
my favorite, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Throughout all of this.
Yeah, especially if they were tea besties.
Exactly. So yes, I love that. It's come a full arc for me, where I'm ending my Funky Phantom episodes with where we started, which was with his BFF girly, Betsy Ross.
Yeah. Nice.
So, yes, we enter this episode on the Betsy Ross house, which I love to point out that the animators even animated it to look like the outside of the actual house in Philadelphia. They did their homework.
Wow, so they do have access to research tools after all.
Well, how about that? This was actually just filmed or created in Philly. That's why they're like, well, I grew up here.
Team out there.
I've just seen this every day. I'm from Philly, so I grew up near it. So let's just draw it. Yeah, that sounds good.
Sports ball, though,
football,
never heard of it.
Especially in Philly, just in general in Pennsylvania,
right?
Really, y'all don't know football? Okay. So, yes, although I will point out that there is some historical controversy over whether or not this exact historic site is or is not her actual house. She may have actually been across the street from this house. That original house may have, burnt down as things go, building with incredibly flammable things back in the day. But either way, this one is close enough. So this is the historic site.
Of the things that this show has done, you know what? We'll give this one to them.
You know what? That's the exact thing, is that like they didn't build this historic site that could or could not be the house.
Yeah.
That was the US government saying this was the historic site, not the animators. They're innocent here. They're just going with what the government says.
It was never her house, but the person who actually owned it like paid a senator to be like, look,
to call it that.
I need historic preservation status for this. Okay. Yeah. But Betsy never lived here. I don't care. We'll say she did.
You know who did? Benjamin. My dear friend, Benjamin.
Hamilton, multiple 5 Benjamins lived there, actually. Benjamin lived there 5 times.
Exactly. So inside of this house / what is now a historic museum in the show and IRL, we see the infamous Betsy Ross flag. The one, it's got the stripes, it's got the stars of the American flag, but they're in a circle. My dogs are very excited about this. They love
doggos.
They love
American history.
Yeah, they're like, why did we ever switch from the circle into this rows of stars? Lame. But yes, it is sitting in this glass covered like giant display case. It has, the little plaque on the bottom saying Betsy Ross's flag. It's the original, et cetera, et cetera. And next to the case is the curator of this historic site and a security guard. And they're discussing the new security system installed around the flag because they recently received a threat about someone stealing this flag. Because yes, this episode is both national treasure and also my favorite, even though we just made fun of me 2 weeks ago for this, museum heist.
Yes.
Historic site heist. I couldn't stay away.
For those who are new to this podcast, you will quickly learn that Grace lives, eats, breathes, sleeps, dreams museum heists.
I literally
Grace was DMing me museum heist stories over Instagram in between us talking about museum heists last weekend and now. It's all we ever talk about.
Yeah, I sent you that before I watched and wrote this episode. And so when I was writing this episode, I hung my head low. I'll screenshot that convo for receipt evidence for everyone. But yes, I sent Alexis.
Actually, I'm very glad you sent it to me. We learned some actually very, very important information.
Exactly.
So thank you.
I'm
happy that you have an obsession with museum heists.
Yes, museum heists, art,
it's
crime,
made us all better.
All of it. Yes. Yes. I live it. I breathe it, and I naturally gravitate towards it in all cartoon forms, but not in real life forms. Don't worry. ... So anyways, the curator of this museum is like, he's like a nerdy looking dude. He's got thick glasses, a thick mustache, and like a burgundy suit on. And the security guard is like your 70s Hanna-Barbera classic, like square-jawed, nondescript white dude in a security guard uniform. But the security guard, for the curator, it turns on this new like security system, this new alarm system, so that they can test it out. So you can show this, like the curator, like, we got this on lock. We don't need to worry about this threat. And so the curator walks up to the display case, and this like alarm system is triggered by like people approaching the edges of the display. And the display case, when he approaches, simply erupts in flashes of electricity. Like it's like an electric fence. Which like wow. I think they then did in Amazing Chan in their first episode.
Yeah.
But that's two, it seems incredibly unsafe for like a kid is going to come to the museum and like want to put their face on the display case, and they're just going to get like electrocuted. Because it's not
their whole
like
face though. Oh my god.
They really love flags.
Wow. Yeah. So, hey, there's a warning sign above it.
There wasn't.
Read the warning sign. The lawyers like hammer one up like immediately
Afterwards.
after it happened. Like,
This kid gets
see, I told
fried.
you.
Kid should have read. Sorry about it.
Sorry, not sorry.
So, yes, the fact that it's triggered by approaching the sides rather than like breaking the glass or something like that,
Yeah.
I don't know. There was not a lot of child safety rules in the 70s. This is a perfect example, but
Yes.
school trips are coming. It's in Philly. It's a historic site. This is a field trip zone. Not
Someone's
for
gonna get
long.
electrocuted.
Exactly.
Not for long. It's about to be a danger zone. It already
Things
is a
aren't going to
danger
go
zone.
well.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yes, the curator and the guard are satisfied with this, and they return to like their respective offices in this museum to finish up some of their work that evening. But here, before we go on, we're going to pause for a quick Wikipedia summary of Mudsey's
Ooh,
bestie and our flag baddie
yeah.
herself, Betsy Ross.
Flag Baddie. Good. That could be a song. Okay.
Yeah, flag baddie. So that's like because it's like sounds so patriotic. That's like the new single between like the Chicks and Beyonce in her country era, Flag Baddie.
Nice. Yeah.
Yep, would love it. So, dear Betsy Ross was indeed a flag maker for over 50 years. Like this was her career, and made flags for the Pennsylvania Navy during the Revolutionary War. But it wasn't until 100 years afterwards, during the like centennial celebrations, like the 100-year celebration of the war, that the tale of Betsy Ross making the first flag of the United States came to be popular and became the widespread belief and like a legend that it now is. So this story that we'll get into in a second was actually popularized again during this like 100-year celebration by one of Betsy's grandsons. And it turns out that this tale of Betsy Ross was actually just like a family story that like the grandson had been told by his aunt, who had been told by like her parent, like one of Betsy's siblings, like that kind of thing. And just like this oral tradition passed down just within a family for like 100 years. And so this family story that then became like the myth, the legend of Betsy Ross is that George Washington and two other of like, I don't know, generals or something like that, just folks from leaders in the army or like the Continental Congress, visited Betsy in 1776 with a draft of the flag that they wanted to get made. And Betsy apparently urged them to change the stars from six-sided to five-sided in the like design, or five-pointed, sorry, in the design, and then proceeded to sew said first flag with the new design that she gave a little facelift to. Apparently in the story, she was like, I have to make a fuckload of these. 5 points is easier to cut than 6 points. And like,
money.
yeah, and like that's why she wanted it to be like that. And they were like, okay.
Okay. My mind is more so like she just wanted it to be a pentagram. She had other.
She's a witch.
Yeah.
Burn her. God, I wish. I'm going to rewrite that history. I'm going to claim that I'm the great, 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 great granddaughter. And I'll be like, do you want to know the real family tea? A witch. How do you think she talked back to George Washington? A woman? A working class woman?
Please.
Witches only.
Witch. How do you think she convinced them so easily to make the change from 6 to 5-point star?
They don't listen to women.
Yeah.
Squeeze me. George Washington and two people in maybe the Continental Congress. I don't really remember when that was, but they had something to do with it, probably, maybe. Witch. So, yes, it was from passing down this family story, which then became a tale of how this patriotic working class witch woman, who all of the girls 100 years after the war should look up to. And this tale from the grandson being told during a time where people really wanted, basically, like we're seeking patriotic stories from the war of like war heroes and that kind of stuff.
Propaganda.
That yeah, the crowds basically latched on to this family story, and Betsy Ross reached her fame, even though now basically all historians are like, yeah, I mean, she made flags, but like her and like a shitload of other women were doing that. Did she even ever meet George Washington? Probably
she was
not.
the
I don't
only
know.
one who made flags.
Yeah. Yeah. So now it's disputed. She just had a good family story and also a grandson who could spin great tales. He was the first PR manager, I would say.
Yeah. In
And
history.
and he nailed it, frankly.
Good
Because we still know and love dear old Betsy today. And also, as a side, some quick Betsy fun facts.
Yeah.
One, she had 3 husbands.
Damn, girl.
Granted, probably because they all died, because, it was the 1700s.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I would assume that's why. But still, I was like, you go, Betsy. Okay, you go, girl.
Yeah.
And then I should have double checked this, but at a quick glance of like, Wikipedia gives like when they were born and when they died.
Mm-hmm.
When the Revolutionary War was happening, she was in her like 20s, I'm pretty sure, which like is funny because whenever I picture Betsy Ross, I picture like a lady with white hair and like an old woman nicely sewing this American flag for her new country. Mm-hmm. But she was like a hot young thing being like, besides, George, please. Do you know how much work that is? Thing. And I got to go to the bar after this to meet my second husband. Wink, wink. I don't have time for a 6-pointed star.
This is how she was able to convince George to change his mind. President Washington.
She showed some ankle.
Exactly.
A real witch move of her. Flash a little ankle, head to the pub, the tavern, etc., etc.
Pull the bonnet off a little bit, show some of your hairline.
Show some hair. That it wasn't old woman white hair, which we love, but Betsy was rocking whatever color hair she actually had at the time. So yes, we love this for Betsy and her legacy.
Good.
So we're now
3 husbands. I mean, did she have any? Well, how many kids did she have?
I don't know. I didn't read, but she definitely had. Yeah, there was definitely a large brood happening. I'm pretty sure.
Very witchly of her again.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, back to our show here. What exactly, you might be asking, is this threat they received that made them so sure that they needed a better security system?
An electric fence.
Yeah, specifically an electric fence with no warning signs at all. That's how serious they're taking this threat. They're like, little Timmy,
you could be the culprit.
One day, little Timmy's going to grow up and become fingers or lefty. So we got to teach him now from your last episode. Teach him now. Crime doesn't pay. In fact, it's very painful. But apparently, there was a letter found saying basically that the flag was the next target of the apparently infamous Philadelphia villain, the Paraffin Fiend. Which is very hard to say. Yes. Okay. And in case you don't know, paraffin, which I thought was pronounced paraffin, is an unscented wax used in things like candles. So they say it paraffin. I thought it was paraffin, and I was like, am I stupid? And then I said, whatever. The show's stupid. Next.
This is how I felt with the reverse quarterback, whatever sneak last week. It's like, wait, is that a real? Whatever, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like, dumb. It's because it's paraffin fiend. It's like harder and more fun to say. Great.
Sure.
Let's go with it.
That's fine.
Why not?
Yeah.
So this evening continues, and eventually the evening falls into darkness. And that is where we see a shadow making his way up to a skylight on the roof, which I have to imagine was part of the refurb of this house. I don't think in 1776.
Betsy seems like she would have liked a good skylight.
She's like right above my soaking tub, so I can stare out at the roof next to my cauldron.
My flags in the tub. I just imagine she was always sewing flags.
It's nonstop. There's a lot of flags to sew. She had for 50 years. Girl's got to have some good things for herself. We love that for her.
Right.
So this villain, the Paraffin Fiend, up there on the roof, is quietly using, it's the classic, like he's got like the suction cups to like lift off the window before lowering himself like a secret agent down into the building. And of course, we can immediately put together that this is indeed the Paraffin Fiend. And now, I have a question for you. With such a name,
I have questions for you, so we'll see how this goes.
With a criminal named the Paraffin Fiend, how do you expect him to be dressed? No. Like, what are you
that
picturing?
Was my question, was what is he wearing? Well, because you said...
Give me a vibe.
What I am imagining, I'm not even kidding, is full bodysuit with like whole head cover, like almost like the people that do like green screen work, yes. But black. So like full coverage, like we have no clue what this person looks like. It's just a black like full body onesie, which is what I was going to ask, because you described him as a shadow, or whomever as a shadow. So it's like, okay, is he just wearing like a black full body?
No, I more so just meant like we don't see him right away, but that is a great idea for a future villain. Because
it's also just, it's disturbing. It's equally like disturbing. And exactly.
Like, I don't want to fight that, because I'm like, am I fighting someone who's naked?
It seems, exactly.
It seems very intimate.
It seems like it should be in an adult film and not like a skin suit or something. Ew. Anyways, exactly. So that's what I imagine. But I feel like you're going to say something that is way out in left field.
Right. Cool. Yes, you are. Well, one, that's a great idea, especially because I accidentally said, yes, as a shadow. Again, we just didn't see him right away, but we do see him as he's lowering down. So we do see part of his face.
Can I say a second guess, just in case, since I know?
Yes, please.
My second guess. So he either is in a skin suit, full body skin suit, or he looks like the Hamburglar. There's like no in between, like, in my mind.
If there's 3 circles, where is the overlap of basically skin suit, Hamburglar, and the words I'm about to say to you? We'll find the overlap in a second. Because, there is a sprinkle of both of those things, maybe.
Oh, no. Okay.
So we do see the lower half of his face. He's very like thin. He's got a very kind of like long, pointy beard. But kind of the top half of his face is covered with a mask. So both the Hamburglar and Gimp Suit Man have black masks on, covering part of their face.
Okay, we're somewhere in between.
Okay, and that's where we leave. That's where we leave the similarities of what you said.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
So this man is the opposite, perhaps, of a shadow. He is in a very loud red and orange fit that I would say is inspired equally by court jesters and Robin Hood. He's got like,
I guess, the wrong McDonald's mascot. Okay, cool.
He's got like this like puffy shoulder situation that goes into long sleeves and fine long gloves. But like basically the like fit, like he's got like a bodice on, basically, like a leotard, like a red leotard. Okay. And then like black tights. And then, or like maybe brown tights. And then he's got like a red hood up, but like the back of the hood is like elongated, as if, again, like either half of a court jester hat or a Robin Hood hat. And like, I don't know how that outfit correlates with like paraffin. Like,
or the Betsy Ross era of history.
Yes, this is like medieval outfit happening, not like 1776 outfit. So, I will say though, the one thing that does make sense about this outfit is that the Paraffin Fiend is a very close second to Mudsie for the drama and extraness that he brings.
Oh, good. Okay.
Thus, the outfit, you're like, avant-garde, perhaps.
Yeah. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah. And once I got to know him, I said, this checks.
Okay.
So, anyways, that was a lot of detail, but it seemed important because
it was. It is.
It is.
I feel like I know so much about this villain now. Yeah.
Exactly.
An outfit like that says a lot about someone's character.
He doesn't even need to speak.
State of mind. Yeah.
State of mind.
Yeah.
He doesn't even need to speak, but trust me, when he does, it'll all make sense even more.
Okay. Oh, Mudgie's got some competition this week. All right.
Mudgie, yeah, this was another time, another place, another era. They would be stand-up partners. They would be touring partners in a two-man act.
Nice.
Status.
Like Sigmund and Freud.
Sigmund and Freud. Sigmund
and what are their names? Sigmund Freud. No, what is
I know what you're talking
Sigmund and what the fuck?
Carl and Jan.
Carl and Jan.
All right, no, look it up really quick. It's also going to drive me crazy.
Sigmund and Roy. Is that it? Yes. I haven't looked it up, but
I think so. Yeah.
It's
like very close though.
It's Jabberjaw messing with my mind and me subconsciously thinking like, gosh, I need a psyche eval. Sigmund Freud.
Losing it. We need to move away from the 70s Hanna-Barbera just for like a Jabberjaw breather still. This is still too close.
And so it's Siegfried and Roy, not Sigmund.
But yes.
Well, there's that. Anyways.
But yes, that would be them. So yes, anyways.
One of those two things I just mentioned.
Those things. They're doing it, you know. You know what? That's very Mudsie of you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hold true to the wrong facts.
I'm in character. Exactly.
So, anyways, this loudly dressed man very quietly lowers himself again, secret agent style, into the building. And he uses those same like little suction cups to simply from above lift off the glass from the display case and just yoink that flag right up. Because remember, the display case alarm only gets activated from the sides.
Yeah.
They didn't think to alarm that glass somehow.
No one will steal it from above.
No, simply not. ... Yep. So he simply raises himself back up quietly to the roof, flag in hand. But we do see him toss something down on his way out that he purposely tosses to like zip right by the side of the display case and set off the alarm. So the electric fence is going off, and the curator, who was apparently working late, runs into the room to see the flag is gone and that something is left on the floor. So he approaches and realizes the thing on the floor is a candle that is burning. So it's been lit. And this candle is in the shape of a perfect statue replica of the Paraffin Fiend himself.
Are you kidding me? I thought you were going to say Betsy Ross. Oh my gosh.
Nope, it is himself in candle form.
This man bought.
He was like, I have so many crimes to commit. Let him know who it was.
He bought like wax mold shaped like himself. You see him just spending the whole like week before his crime just making candles.
Or I wonder if he just needs like mass order some candles, and this is like the outfit that came, and he was like, well, I guess I got to make an outfit based on this candle. The outfit came second. The candle came first.
The candle or the outfit?
Or the outfit. And attached to this candle, though, is a note. And so the curator unfurls the note and reads in bold red text. It says, "Bong bong, it won't be long." Your comment earlier to his state of mind.
This is interesting.
He's got a lot going on.
Okay, he does. I'm
Yes.
intrigued to learn more about this man. I'll also say never leave a calling card or like
with your entire outfit and face.
Yeah, exactly. One, that saves the police a lot of time at least. They're like, okay, well, here's the culprit. I guess actually they don't know that. They don't know that necessarily because if I saw something like that, I'd be like, no one would ever dress like that. What is this thing? What is this action figure thing?
It was this weird shit.
Handle. Yeah. But
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, he seems like he's doing fine. He seems like he's doing great.
Stable, I would say.
Seems great. Yeah.
So meanwhile, just outside of Philly, our crew is listening to the radio and they overhear the story of the theft the night before and the note left behind with commentary that the paraffin fiend, like you said, that is his calling card. And he always leaves notes that are clues to his next target. And Mudsie, hearing that his bestie Betsy Ross, it's very hard to say, that her flag was stolen, takes the situation very personally. He won't not stand for this. And that's understandable. But then, shockingly, Mudsie immediately, because the radio DJ or announcer, whatever, like reads the note aloud that was left. And Mudsie immediately puts together what the note means. And he says, oh, the sweetest like rings and the sweetest bongs you ever did hear. It's the Liberty Bell.
Oh.
You're like, is it? Yeah.
Is it? I don't know, but okay.
Yeah. I don't really think of when I hear a bell. I don't think bong, I hear like a ring, but you know what? The paraffin fiend needed to rhyme. Yeah. He wrote, it won't be long first. And he had to work backwards from his poem. Okay. Right. He had to figure it out.
I should have, fair.
Okay. Should have gone the other way. But yes, so they're like, shit, the Liberty Bell is in danger now. So the gang speeds off to the Liberty Bell Center, which is a historic site. It houses the Liberty Bell right across the street from Independence Hall in Philly. And they rush to it to make sure it's still there, which it is. As a side note, I have to point out when they're like, phew, it's still here. April is like putting her hand on it, being like, whew, no problem. Still here.
God, no.
And I'm like, historic artifact? No?
Yeah, you can't even touch it. It's like, so I've seen it from the outside. So
roped off.
Yeah, it's like there's a glass encasement around it.
Yeah. And like ropes, you can't like get close to it. There's absolutely guards throughout this historic site and like
a very long line always. So they just cut a lot of people out of line.
Exactly. Yep. And so the crew ponders how anyone could steal this. Not in the sense of like who could defile our American history, but no, literally like how physically could you steal this huge fucking bell? It's got to be like 1,000 pounds. And here, naturally, Mudsie butts in and corrects them, saying, actually, it's 2,035 pounds.
Oh.
Which I looked on Wikipedia and it's 2,080 pounds. But, maybe
closer
the writers... Yeah, it's closer. Maybe, they reweighted as time went on.
Right.
Wikipedia was recently updated, perhaps.
Yeah.
And they're shocked.
He's right about something.
Yeah, and they're shocked by his accuracy. And of course, he says, I was there, don't you know? Which
we don't know, actually, Mudsie.
I do not think you were at Independence Hall or nearby when they rang the Liberty Bell announcing the Revolutionary War beginning. But again, Mudsie, as a Revolutionary War soldier ghost, is taking this all extremely personally. Because, as we've mentioned before, he performed for our freedom, don't you know?
Yes. He was in the Naval Theater Group.
He was part of that USO.
Yeah.
Come on, boys.
Their predecessors. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mudsie started the USO, what is now considered the USO.
He was the first one. So, yes, he's like, it was scary. It was dangerous. He was traumatized by this entire thing. So he says that he will personally keep watch over this bell by patrolling the building to make sure nobody comes in to steal it. But the crew is like, no, Betsy. You're not going to patrol the outside of this building. We will patrol the outside. You'll watch from the inside. Literally from inside of
the bell.
The Liberty Bell.
Oh,
yes.
Great. This will go smashingly.
Yes. So, yes, they force Mudsie and Boo to like blip to just be inside of the Liberty Bell and to wait for danger to come to them. And the crew's like, thanks, guys. yeah. And they leave the building and go into kind of like the surrounding park. They post up in the Looney Dooney to watch from the outside. And of course, like we kind of just mentioned at this point, I'm like, where the fuck are the authorities? Like, first of all, no, like, let's get into some art crime here. The FBI
please
has an entire unit for like art theft and like historic antiquities. Clearly, there has been a threat. You don't think the FBI has decoders for Bong Bong? It won't be long.
I know. They're too busy doing like the most intense cryptids like, and everything. They're like, I just
can't. This is the next Zodiac.
You're like, certainly it's too simple to mean the Liberty Bell. That can't be it. That would be way too obvious.
Oh my God. Get everyone to the Pentagon. Stat.
Now.
Quantico, let's go. So
even get MI6 involved in this. It's like bringing the Brits in, you know, with the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, call your best code breakers over.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess they're just stuck on that instead of easily code breaking this and sending the FBI to, block and protect, this Liberty Bell. But anyways, they're not there. So whatever, I guess.
It's taking them a while to get down from, or get up there from, DC.
Yeah, true. And again,
they don't have field offices in 71.
Very cryptic code. Yeah. There's certainly no authority in law enforcement constantly every corner in Philly.
No.
Over police? No.
Especially not federal. What?
No. So, right as evening falls, Elmo, the good boy, looks up and starts barking like crazy up at the sky as they see a very low flying, because yes, the paraffin fiend is also, a deal shopper, a couponer, if you will, because he is piloting yet another helicopter.
Oh, he also followed through on that buy one, get one deal.
Exactly. He BOGO'd with whatever previous villain. Maybe actually it was
the candles.
The candles.
Buy 5,000 candles, get one helicopter.
Or again, which one came first? He got it was buy one helicopter, get 5,000 candles free.
He's like, that's a really good deal. I need some new candles.
I need some new candles. I love this outfit. Wait a second. Good build on this.
Practically pays for itself.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. Gift to myself, of course.
Right.
So yes, we see the paraffin fiend in his bright red helicopter coming towards this historic site. And he notices the crew because it's a bunch of teens in a dune buggy pointing up at him and a dog barking viciously. So pretty clearly they're doing something that he doesn't want them to be doing.
Right.
And he, I guess in his spare time, between sewing his outfit together, making more candles, he's taking the time to trick out this helicopter. And he sprays a sleeping gas on them, making the entire crew immediately fall asleep in the Looney Dooney. Yeah.
Wait, like while they're driving? Or like
no, they're just sitting there. It's parked.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, and they crash.
Like that
Flames
can get really dark. Yeah.
No. They're parked. Yeah. By like patrolling, they really just meant we're going to sit in one spot.
Sitting here, yeah.
If he comes around the other side of the building, sorry, Mudsie, we tried.
Yeah, Mudsie, that's why you're in there. So just, yeah, because we're probably
We
going
only
to
watched
fail.
the
So,
front doors,
yeah.
not the back entrances. So then the paraffin fiend flies his helicopter over the building that the bell is housed in. And this helicopter creates like this puff of smoke. And because he's not like flying around moving the smoke, it starts billowing around the helicopter, looking like it's just a cloud. So if you look up, there's just a giant cloud above this building. And he basically like has created some type of device that like the building with the Liberty Bells in has like a domed top. Like there's like a little tower with a little dome on it. And he like somehow lifts off the dome top and then sends down a giant hook that he latches onto the Liberty Bell and starts to just pull it right up. And we see as he pulls it up that underneath the Liberty Bell, Mudsie and Boo are taking a nap.
Oh, yeah. Wait, does sleeping gas affect them? Wait, they were inside. How did they?
Yeah, so they didn't get to sleep. They're just
napping. Yeah.
They're just bad at their job.
They're just tired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
They're just like, it is so boring in here.
So late. This is such a boring bell. We've seen this so many times already.
We were literally there, don't you know?
Yeah.
Honk out. So
Nice.
yeah, it lifts up off of them and is able to fly away down the streets of, you know, the metropolitan area of Philadelphia with this bell just dangling off of the helicopter, presumably ringing, because, you know, it's like a bell.
The thing is,
swerving around in the sky.
Presumably very noticeable because it's the Liberty Bell.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Okay. On a bright red helicopter. But, you know, presumably this ringing from above does wake up Boo, and he realizes they've been bamboozled. So he wakes up Mudsie, and they run outside to wake up the rest of the crew. So, or then realize they also have to wake up. And then, you know, I'm sure Mudsie and Boo were like, you guys were sleeping on the job?
How could you? You're so unprofessional.
And they're like, Mudsie, are those little eye boogers in your eye?
Yeah, you got some in your eye there, buddy.
Yeah. So at this point, they decide to split up. So Mudsie and Boo will like blip to the top of a building to see if they can see the helicopter and like see what direction it's going outside of Philly. Augie and Skip actually split off together, and they're going to go try and find a security guard who they're like, this is a historic area. There's got to be a like security guard of some sorts here. And then April is going to stay with the Looney Dooney, presumably for like being able to basically like, if Mudsie comes back and says like the helicopter is going this way, she'll be able to drive and go get Skip and Augie, and they can go like book it off in that direction for like a quick getaway / chase. So it takes Boo and Mudsie some time, but they are eventually able to spot the direction of the helicopter. It seems like it had like briefly disappeared from the sky and then come back. Well, Skip and Augie eventually takes them a little bit, but they do actually find a guard there kind of in the grounds of this historic area. And they start basically like yelling for help and being like, call the cops, call the like real authorities, not just security guard authorities that you are, like people with actual authority.
Mall
like
cops.
Yeah, basically like a huge crime has just been committed.
Yeah.
But the guard doesn't respond at all. Potentially because he was just insulted.
Also true.
But it does seem like this guard doesn't even notice that they're there, which they start to obviously get very frustrated by. And Augie, in his frustration, decides to shake the guard, which I was like, sir,
that's assault.
Is this assaulting an officer? And I was like, it's just a security guard. It's fine.
But yeah, true. That's right.
Slightly less.
It's not assaulting an officer. It's just assaulting a regular person.
Yeah, just a normal person. You'll get less jail time for it. Great. But when Augie is doing this, the guard simply falls apart.
Literally. Be like a mannequin or something.
The arms pop off and he collapses onto the ground. And this is when they realize, also because Augie was touching him, that this guard was a wax figure.
Oh my God.
A
What?
wax statue. Madame
Why?
Tussauds
Yeah.
wax security guard.
Madame Tussauds Liberty Bell exhibition. It's
Liberty
like a
Bell
wax
security
Liberty
guard.
Bell. Yeah. Everything is
The building is
all the
wax.
traditional stuff is
It
just
turns into
wax.
House of Wax. Isn't that a horror movie?
Yeah. Oh God.
So, yes, that's when they notice, indeed, like I said, that this was a wax statue. And that's also when they notice a small burning candle in the shape of the one and only
Oh
paraffin
no.
fiend with,
Mm.
yes, a note attached. And, the paraffin fiend took some notes about the public's response to his last message. They
Yeah.
were like, bong, we don't, that's a
We
different
don't
type
get
of
it.
connotation when you say
Yeah.
that. We were like,
It won't
is he
long
cracking
before.
down on like the drug ring
What was the exact
here
thing?
in
It won't
Philly?
be long before the bing bong or
It
before
was
the
bong bong, it won't be long. They
bong
were
bong.
like, is this a drug
A
trafficking
bunch of people were
thing?
like, "What? Yeah,
Yeah.
like you want us all to get high? What's
Yeah, what
happening?
exactly is
It
this?
won't be long. It's what? Are you saying it's 4:15? What's
Waiting to
happening?
420, wink wink.
Yeah,
What's the situation here?
we need more direction.
Yes. So he was obviously very much listening,
He
like
got a
any good
focus group.
performer. Exactly. Like any good performer, he knows how to take note, He can
Exactly.
take criticism, he can grow, he can learn
Yeah.
from it. So instead, this note, again in red, all caps, which is, a little aggressive, but he's really getting his point across. He says, the bell is mine, as is the flag. To get them back will take some swag. We'll take
Swag. He
some
literally.
swag. 10 million bucks to be exact. I want them now, and that's a fact. So it's much more direct.
That is
He
a lot more
has
direct. He's like, fine.
a good rhyming scheme.
He does.
4 lines instead, 1 stanza.
Mm-hmm.
Et
He
cetera, et
ran us through
cetera.
the list of everything he's taken so far to clear up. So, like, for those who
Yes.
were unsure of the last clue, he's like, it was the bell. I took the bell.
It was the fucking bell, you idiots.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's a little bit showing that he himself thinks he has some swag. He's like, yeah, some
I know how to
swag. Cool,
rhyme.
cool, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make them think of me in my Jester Robin Hood outfit. Swag.
Swag. They go
And
together.
yes,
Wow,
exactly. 10 million bucks to be exact. I want them now, and that's a fact. So, further from kind of the grounds of this historic site, we see a car watching all of this happen. And inside, there are 2 men, also dressed like they're from Robin Hood days and medieval times.
But in a car.
In a car, inexplicably. Wow. But they're watching the crew kind of find the next clue and that kind of stuff. And they get out like basically a giant phone, walkie-talkie thing, and they call the paraffin fiend in his helicopter saying, yes, the kids have been taken care of. And then we leave them. Very cryptic. Something's about to happen, or who knows? They possibly left the clue for them there.
Yeah.
So at this point, the boys, Mudsie included, all rush back to the car where April has been waiting for them and start telling April. They show her the note, tell her what's going on. Mudsie says the direction the helicopter went, but April isn't responding.
Oh no.
And they start waving their hands in front of her face. And then April just keels right over in the Looney Dooney. She too now is a wax dummy.
Oh my goodness. Wow. This is so interesting. I was really expecting him to lean more into the candle side of wax making and not the wax dummy.
The scary side of wax.
I don't lie. Pretty talented.
Yeah. He's like, cool. The wax candles are just my minifigs.
Yeah, that was how I practiced. How do you think I got so good?
Yeah, you have to have a plan before you make the giant statue. So you make the little ones. Yes, they all look like me because I'm very important. But that's how you make a tester, and then you make
throw that in there because I'm very important.
It's called swag. Look it up.
You can up downs them. You can learn a thing or two.
Adjust his like hat, has a little
Jester
bell at the
hat.
end. Ding ding. So they jump into the Looney Dooney at this point to be like, well, we gotta go. Like, we bet the Paraffin Fiend has April.
Yeah.
But the Looney Dooney doesn't go anywhere.
Oh my God.
Because the Looney Dooney isn't wax, don't worry.
Okay, thank you. Good.
I didn't even think about that. No,
like,
that actually that would have been, I would say, even better.
Yeah.
Because these dumb boys didn't realize that all of the tires have been taken off of the Dune buggy.
Oh, Jesus, how do you miss that? What?
They like run up to it and don't notice, and then they try and drive, and of course it's like there are no tires. They're gone. You can't fucking go anywhere. It's been stripped.
So this is proving how much April holds shit together.
Can you put a pin in that?
Yes, I can.
Okay. A short but important pin.
Okay.
So we do, however, cut back to the helicopter, and it kind of like zooms out from just the Paraffin Fiend. And we indeed see April tied up in the back. She's fully kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the Paraffin Fiend is laughing at April. He's like, whoa, ha, 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 ha. And she's in the back. Ha, 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 ha. She's just mocking him. April doesn't give a fuck.
That's awesome, actually. That's amazing. What a power move.
At one point, he's like, stop mocking me. She's like, stop mocking me. Like,
what a power move.
Yeah, April.
That's like one of the best ways to combat a narcissist, which this guy clearly is.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, it's just straight up. April's good. She knows what she's doing.
Exactly. So while the boys are obviously in panic now, because like you said, April holds everything together. Now they're like, what do we do? Boo, of course, starts fucking with Elmo. And so Elmo starts chasing Boo, and Boo runs from the car kind of into the city. The boys are like, okay, well, we can't now lose our pets. Like, okay, let's go chase them. But Boo, the smart kitty cat, leads them right to some small mopeds that they just hop on. Yeah. And they're like, we know the direction of the helicopter. This is our new ride now.
Cool.
Yep.
Nice. Philly is not at all hard to get around.
So they zoom off.
Yeah.
They're right. They're like, we'll follow a single helicopter in the city we've never been to before.
Yeah.
Muddsy's probably like, oh, but I've been here before, don't you know?
It looks exactly the same.
Yeah, 200 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah, Muddsy.
Sure, Muddsy.
Although there are some parts of Philly that, are still that old. Yeah. Anyways. But
right, once he leaves the block of, like, Independence Hall and, like, the Liberty Bell, he's like, just blink, sound goes invisible.
I'm just gonna hang out in the Looney Dooney. Tell me when you're done. Tell me when you find April.
Tell me when you find April. But speaking of April,
yes,
as they're zipping through town, Augie and Skip are like, wait, what's our plan to rescue April? Like, are we sure that she's in the helicopter with him? Like, how do we know what's going on? And incredibly, because we joked about this a couple episodes ago in the Montezuma episode, and let's take that pin right out.
Okay.
Skip and Augie literally say, if we know April, she'll find a way to let us know where she is. If we know April, she'll solve this for herself.
She'll solve this, exactly. All we have to do is keep driving around, and she'll eventually find us.
She'll
and then
show
we'll go
up.
home. Yeah. It always works out.
So
oh my God.
Like, IDK, where's April? Yeah.
I don't know. She'll let us know.
Yeah, she'll tell us how to rescue her.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's hilarious.
Yes. Yeah, when they said that, I was just like, Alexis knew.
Called it.
And she pointed it out a couple episodes ago, like, April, what do we do to save you? Yeah. I was literally there screaming in the streets of Philly.
Literally just standing in the middle of the road. April!
April, tell us what to do.
Great.
But you know what?
This is going well. You know, it's crazy. It's going to happen.
Because April,
she will find a way to tell them where she is.
She will and does, because in the helicopter, she basically sees like the lever to release
people walking around. Oh, no, that.
Well, first of all, she's like, why are they on mopeds? The fuck are they doing? Why are these going in circles on mopeds right now?
Wait, I'm sorry. I hate to interject here, but it just hit me. Do we see the paraffin fiend, whatever? Who stole the tires off the Looney Dooney?
I assume it was the people in the park watching, but we cannot confirm nor deny.
You're right. Okay, I forgot about them already. I was like, damn, were they just dissing Philly for crime? Like, you can't go anywhere without your shit being someone running your shit.
And then the crew steals mopeds, so like, correct.
I totally forgot about those two goons, though.
It turns out, like, what if we never see the goons again? Them. And they just were like,
they're like, no, we were just going to follow them. We weren't gonna.
The paraffin who? No, we just wanted those tires. No. We're just flipping them.
God. Yeah, no, we were talking to the dude at our auto shop that we like boost stuff out from.
Garage.
Who the fuck is a paraffin fiend?
What the fuck is that?
Steal shit.
Wait, I thought it was paraffin.
Paraffin.
No, but I fucking wish. But also,
God, that's hilarious.
I will say they do start heading in the same direction. So maybe they are following the mopeds, being like, these kids seem rich. What else they got?
Could use some
probably mug them.
Oh, yeah. They don't look like they can fight.
Yeah, I look pretty weak. We saw that football game aired. I think they're on the team. We can take them.
They go to Central, right? Yeah. We got that.
The most underfunded school in Philly. No problem. But yes, indeed, our girly April in the helicopter, she sees like the lever to like release the smoke, and of course yanks it. So now the helicopter is spitting smoke up in the sky, making it even easier for our dumbass boys below to be like, look at the smoke trail. We should follow that. Nice. It leads right to a bell hanging off of a helicopter. I bet that's them.
Might be him.
I wonder.
We should go check.
Yeah, so they do follow that smoke cloud and helicopter and bell right outside of Philly to an old abandoned wax factory.
Oh gosh, of course.
Which again,
literally House of Wax.
Yeah. And like authorities you could put together. Calling it paraffin really threw them off. They were like, why would he take up headquarters in a wax? Yeah, in a wax
has
factory.
Nothing to do with wax.
Yeah,
paraffin. Paraffin. No, if he was the paraffin fiend, then I would say, right, let's check out the wax factory for sure. But I don't know what a paraffin is.
Get back to Bong Bong. It won't be long, code breakers. Come on. We got to find this guy. But this old abandoned factory is all gated off, and it's like kind of scattered with old, like decrepit buildings. Obviously, it was a very large operation. Mm-hmm. And in an upper floor of one of the buildings, we see April getting locked into a room that has barred windows. Mm. And the paraffin literally says, now you'll stay here in my house of wax. Horror movie time.
Yes.
April is basically just like, ew.
What if she was like, now I'll stay here in your house of wax. He's like, frowns and slams the door.
He literally just leaves. She like calls it like gross and dusty, and he just walks out and locks her in.
Like, this bitch. Show you. Yeah. I hate this kid. God. I can't wait to figure out why he's kidnapping people. Okay, go on. I'm intrigued.
Yes, that's exactly what he wants.
Yeah.
He wants you to be intrigued. He wants to be a little mysterious.
A spectacle. He wants to just create. Yeah.
And he is. He doesn't want. He is. He is the spectacle. He knows it. Muddy the whole time is like,
this guy. We got to bring him down.
We got to bring him down for Betsy and me. I mean, for Betsy.
For Betsy. Mostly for Betsy.
So on the outside, we do see the boys get past the fence and they're wandering the grounds trying to find April. And she, from like her upper story, is looking out these barred windows and sees them wandering the grounds. And they don't notice her being like, I'm up here, I'm up here.
Oh my God.
So having to do all of the work for these teenage boys, she like in the dirty room she's in, finds a piece of paper, pulls out some lipstick from a pocket, writes help on it, folds it into a paper airplane and chucks it out the window where it perfectly flies and like it hits them in the eye.
So, okay, great. They get it. Where did this come from?
They literally have a second of being like, help, who is this? And then April's like, I'm right here. And they're like, April,
how do we save you? Okay.
They're literally like, but how do we get up to the second floor?
The second floor. Not even like
this building.
Not even like a watchtower like Rapunzel. Like, how you're so high up. How will we ever? It's like, dude, Augie, you're like 7 feet tall. You're halfway there.
Skip on your standing. Walk into the door of this building and walk upstairs.
And find the stairs.
Yeah. I will be screaming. You will hear me.
Christ. But they are helpless.
Before they can figure out a way to get her, aka her to tell them how to get her, the car from before pulls in and the boys have to kind of jump to the side to hide from it. But they see the car like open up like a secret entrance in this building that April's in. And as it pulls in, the boys sneak in right behind it. So they kind of get in through this secret way. And quickly, they do go up to the room that she's locked in, and Mudsie is able to pick the lock to let her out. So really, Skip and Augie have done nothing.
Yep, that's per usual. Also, that is another thing I just thought about. They didn't even have to go in. Mudsie could have just gone in the whole time. He could float up. April, how do we get you off the second floor? Mudsie, float up, go in, unlock the door, leave.
Here's the thing. When they were at first like, April, oh my God, Mudsie blipped up to the second floor, but was just on the outside and was like, we'll find a way. And then the car came in and he was like, goodbye. April was probably sitting there being like, you know what? The paraffin fiend, he's pretty lame, but he did manage to kidnap me. Take your tires, take 2 historic objects. He's like 1,000 times smarter than Skip and Augie combined. Maybe I'll just stay here.
I'll just wait. Yeah.
Maybe I'll learn how to make wax figurines. I don't know.
The paraffin fiend seems pretty happy. I mean,
yeah.
I guess I could enjoy wax figures.
Yeah, I'll learn to love it.
Yeah.
So, yes, they let her out of the room. They go back to the ground floor. And just as they get there, the 2 Robin Hood goon sidekicks appear. And we get a very special chase scene because it's a chase scene through a whole ass terrifying wax museum, which I've never been to a wax museum and I have no interest in attending.
I have. I've been to one of the Madame Tussauds. The one in Niagara Falls a couple times. It's not the most pleasant thing, I will say, but
I feel like it would smell bad.
I don't recall a particular smell, to be fair, but it's like, it is weird in the sense that they're all wax figurines all around you, but at the same time, most of them don't look a thing like the person. But that also then makes it a bit scarier because it's like, oh my God, that's wax. It's just like, it's weird. It's interesting. It's like,
it's like on a similar
list.
To
see the craftsmanship of it, but it's not something that I would ever be like, oh my God, there's a new wax figurine. I got to go see it. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it falls in the same category for me as like marionettes, dolls, puppets. There's like, it's like lower on the list, but it's still on the same list of like, deep disinterest from me.
Something about like lifeless eyes and realistic features is just not.
I'm not interested. I'm not going to pay money to participate in
Thanks,
this.
I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it. You can take it back. I'm going to just go ahead and melt this. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for all the candle fuel, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'll stay warm.
Make so many candles out of this.
Yeah. So at some point, the Paraffin Fiend comes out and joins the chase too. And even though I fucking hate wax figures, it's a fun chase because, of course, the crew is like hiding amongst the different historical figures in historical scenes. So, you know, we've got the founding fathers signing the Declaration of Independence. We've got Washington crossing the Delaware.
Okay.
That painting, but a wax reenactment of it,
or the Potomac, as
Mudsie thought.
Yeah.
Yes. So like it's a fun chase scene. But
that's cool.
Yes, our dear Mudsie isn't just standing idly by. Instead, when the Paraffin Fiend, kind of the crew leads the Fiend and like the two goons a little closer to like one of the main rooms that Mudsie's in, Mudsie picks up just like a big ass barrel and just like yeets it at the Paraffin Fiend, and it like goes on top of him and like traps him in it. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, Paraffin Fiend stuck underneath this giant barrel. And then
nice. Also would be painful.
Right. Probably like broke a shoulder or like something like that. Because you just get suddenly like crumpled to the ground. And like it's so heavy you can't lift it up. So then Mudsie also like rips some curtains down and like, you know, wraps the sidekicks in it.
On a rage.
For Betsy! This is a one-man show. I do a solo act, not a duet.
I need the attention.
I mean, for Betsy.
Yeah.
For America. So, yeah. He's rampaging.
I was trying to figure out why. I guess he's going to use the curtains for something, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he wraps it around the two sidekicks and like makes them stumble.
I forgot they were in there. Okay. Like, why is he doing this? Okay.
Again, these two random criminals thought they were just going to like strip some metal somewhere and now are being assaulted by a curtain.
Part of this massive conspiracy. Yeah. Like, damn, we should have answered that call.
This is not what they asked for.
The Paraffin Fiend actually called the wrong number. They just happened to answer. And they're like, oh, shit. I guess we got to go meet him at the wax factory now.
Like, I mean, how are we going to get our payment for these tires if not? And now they're being assaulted by they don't know what.
Right. By a ghost. Awesome.
Yeah, they're also now terrified because they also hate wax museums.
Yes.
So as these two goons, again, wrapped in this curtain, like obviously they can't see anything, so they stumble and kind of roll a little bit. And they roll right into the wax figures of our dear George and Martha Washington.
Aww.
In full 1700s dress, including, you know, Martha's wearing, you know, like the corseted top and then like the giant poofy like skirt
dress
thing.
Yeah.
And right as they slam into the skirt part of the dress, it rings, or as some would say, bongs.
Bongs.
And so, yes, the crew runs over and just lifts up the skirt and sees. I know, I was like, don't love that.
Have some respect for Martha Washington.
Have some respect for Martha. So, yes, it's revealed underneath why the skirt is so puffy is indeed the Liberty Bell is underneath it, as is the Betsy Ross flag. So the authorities now are called, and it is time to unmask the Paraffin Fiend.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is like I guess he does have a mask on.
Yep. So I can run you through our very few characters here.
Yeah.
We have the curator in his burgundy suit. We have the guard at the Betsy Ross house. And we have the guard who was at some point replaced with a wax figure at the Liberty Bell site.
That's right.
That's
those were two different guards. That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the first guard was at the Betsy Ross house.
Yep.
So I am going to guess that it is the museum curator. I have no reason why. He obviously, as all the other evil museum curators and Hanna-Barbera shows, He was gonna embezzle the money from that Liberty Bell one way or another. He was gonna try to sell it on the black market. Which also, could you imagine?
Exactly.
Exactly. Super subtle.
Yeah. Easy thing.
He was going to start his own museum.
Exactly. So they pull the barrel off of the paraffin fiend because they've just kept him in there underneath, like all balled up. And they reach to take the mask off. And it reveals, well, as they reach for it, we see the paraffin fiend fall apart.
Oh God, he's wax.
Because it was a wax figure of him underneath. And just behind the crew, we see a small candle in the shape of the paraffin fiend.
Wait, that's awesome.
With a note. And the note says, "You have the flag, you have the bell. So on my loss I will not dwell, but I'll return as suits my pleasure to steal another historic treasure."
He saved the best for last.
And at this, Mudsie is terrified because I'm a historic treasure. I could get stolen next.
Okay, Mudsie.
And that's it. That's the end. He gets away.
That's actually awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
That's amazing. This motherfucker.
He was the worst villain, probably. Actually, no, not the worst, but he left the most crumbs behind, so to speak. Like,
yes, he left
so many tracks.
He said, "Try and catch me. You can't.
Go ahead. I'll make it easy for you, even."
Exactly. And you know what? They fucking couldn't.
They couldn't.
They caught him in a barrel, and he was able to replace that with a wax figurine of himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Write this new note, best note thus far. He keeps improving. He keeps listening to the critiques and getting better and better.
He does.
And is still able to get the fuck away.
Yeah.
And that's it. I think that's the first time ever that our criminal has just been like,
in any show.
Bye.
In any show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, all right, fine. You win this round. I'm out skis. And then we never know who it is.
Exactly. Wow. So
I still think it's the curator, but.
Yeah. He did. We'll never know.
There's
only one season. We will literally never know.
We will not know.
This remains an unsolved crime.
Ooh, 53 years later. I can do math. 53 years later. We still don't know who stole the Liberty Bell and Betsy Ross's flag.
Exactly. But we do know that he has some swag.
He does. It sucks. He never got his $10 million. Aw.
Not yet.
Now I'm rooting for him now.
I know. See, I think Mudsie also is extra mad because he was like,
I know. He's like, dang it.
He's going to keep getting headlines.
Man, who could it be?
Yeah.
So many options.
We don't know.
We'll never know. We
simply don't know.
Damn. As much as I love it, I am also mad. I need closure.
Paraffin fiend, not about it.
He's not.
He changes his life to be Madame Tussauds.
He's like, I actually am good at this. I should go into wax making.
Yeah, wait a second. And then he's like, and then I can hide all the things I steal and just say they're wax objects in my wax museum. But really,
yeah,
it is the real Liberty Bell in there.
So I guess I'm less upset about not knowing who it is than I am about not knowing why the fuck wax had to be in the picture. Like, why did he have to make wax dummies and stuff? There's so many places you could hide the Liberty Bell if you have to steal it. Like, so many unanswered questions, and the least important of which is who is under the mask.
And you know what? We'll never have any of the answers because we never caught him. Like, and not only of like, another question I have is like, maybe it was wax because he's clearly very fucking good at it. Like, he saw April once in a matter of like minutes was like, wax figure. Done. Let's go.
Because now we get even further from knowing why he even needed to kidnap people. Why did he?
Yeah, that one I don't fully know. The guard, I was like, oh, so that it seems like on camera there were guards, but like in reality, it was just a fake guard that I've kidnapped. April, I'm not sure. Maybe just to like, you know what? Like I said, the start, he's extra.
He is extra. Yeah. He needed
an
like, audience. He was lonely.
I must create you of wax.
Yes. You have the most unique eyes I've ever seen. Do you know how much of a feat this will be to create wax?
Snake studies lately with my wax making, and there's just
Are you free this afternoon,
April? And I must recreate you in wax. Come along, get in the helicopter.
No. So he just okay, fine. Yeah, she consented.
Yeah, she was like, "Me out of wax."
That sounds okay.
Cool. Yeah. So maybe that's why he was just inspired. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was truly a unexpected ending. I also was like, "Oh, this is the curator, obviously." Like classic. Yeah, it's like one of the, or like the security guard. It's one of those two, since we only had 3 characters. I was like, I don't even feel like it's going to be an unknown person. And then instead it was no one.
No one. It was no person.
One and nothing. Was it even a fever dream? We don't know.
Yeah. Are they even in Philly? Probably not.
No one knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. It was wild. And I love the Paraffin Fiend. He was great.
Oh, yeah. I cannot wait to watch and see just how extra he is.
He is. It's lovely.
I feel like even though you probably described him 100% accurately and as best as you could, it always is more extra than I could have ever imagined. So I'm extremely excited to watch this. Great job.
Thank you.
After I watch it, I'm gonna have all sorts of wild speculation about who the hell did this.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was just like, I don't even know where to speculate on because he was just so all over the place. But I also was like, he says enough. His notes say enough. I don't need to add to his lore.
Right. He's a character in and of itself.
The man, the myth, the legend. I don't need to add anything else to him. He's perfect the way he is. So yes,
he's amazing. You're amazing, just the way you are.
Just the way you are, Paraffin Fiend. So next week you will be doing your final, for now, Funky Phantom episode. And between now and then, who should our listeners and viewers tell about the show?
I'm in
what real are you time Googling what a candle maker is?
No, damn, okay. No, but you can Google that now, so you can say it for yours.
I won't.
I am going to say that you all should tell the Historic Philadelphia Incorporated company, because they are the ones who run the Betsy Ross house.
Oh,
I was hoping that there was like some society or some like historic, like the Betsy Ross Society or something. Yeah. I couldn't find it quickly enough. So Historic Philadelphia Incorporated. Let them know. I'm sure they have an IG. They do, at the Betsy Ross house. Hit them up on IG.
Yes.
They only have 2.8 thousand followers. Guys, pump those numbers up. Let's
go.
Follow. Oh my gosh, sorry. And now I have to just read this. Their like little bio line on Instagram. The house and memorial of the first maker of the American flag, Betsy Ross. Hashtag Betsy Ross house. Hashtag Little Rebel. Hashtag Historic Philly. So yeah, guys, follow the Betsy Ross house on
Little
Instagram.
Rebel, because she's a witch.
She's a witch.
They'll love that part of us saying that. They'll love it.
They absolutely will. Who should they tell?
I think after that, y'all should tell it the guards at any historical site. You live in the DC area, there's plenty of monuments for you to go tell. The guards they love when you come up and talk to them. They're not bored out of their minds, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, at any American historic location, tell the guards there about the show. They can pop a earbud in and listen. There's not too much going on there. They'll be fine.
No, and they're free.
And we'll see y'all next week.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Satmornmist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.